Good morning or afternoon, depends on what time of the day you are watching this, but I hope everyone is having a good Thursday. I hope you've had a great first 3 days of the week. It's almost Friday, so but yeah, so it'll be nice tomorrow. I think tomorrow should be no school day because of the nice weather. That should be a thing. I honestly think they give us snow days. They should give us nice weather days when you're not, especially that time of the year when it's supposed to start getting cold. It's gonna be mid 70s tomorrow. So definitely gonna take advantage of the mid 70s day tomorrow. So if you see me twisting up some pipe cleaners things here, I teach an egg processing class and we're going through poultry stuff right now. So the idea of the class is to take a raw material like chicken or eggs or something related to the topic and turn it into a product. So that's kind of what we've been doing. Anyway, so they're kind of doing an activity called supply the hungry with eggs. That's kind of what I'm calling it. And so what they have to do is design an egg drop thing. So they have to be able to drop a carton of eggs safely from a distance up, because they can't drive. The scenario is you can't drive into the infected area. People can't come out. You can't have a delivery point because they can't leave the area. So they have to drop the eggs in by foot. So this represents a whole pallet of eggs. They have to be able to safely drop the eggs without them cracking. So, and they're competing against me. So my idea is, I haven't shared too much of my idea with them, but I'm trying to see if this would work. I'm making like a ton of springs as it comes down. It's gonna be like wrapped in bubble wrap and everything. But I'm also trying to pad the landing a little bit. So the kids' idea is good too. So they just need to tweak it a little bit more, and then I think they're set to go. So they did a test run yesterday. They broke just like the bottom of their eggs crack, but it's not that bad. So their ideas are coming. They just got to fine tune it. So, all right. So I'm making like these springs that I'm going to attach at the bottom, hoping that maybe it's going to cushion. The kids say it's stupid, but it's not going to be stupid when I beat them. That's the idea, because I've been bragging it up. Okay, so let's get talking about your thing. I love your idea. Grain farm, like that. Something you're all familiar with. And then you added grain farm school. That's perfect. I think people need to learn how to farm, especially if the grain farm. There are a lot of people who don't know how to farm. They start farming and they start realizing, oh, I didn't realize I had to follow that regulation. Oh, didn't know I need that piece of equipment. Even this day, my dad's an old farmer. He grew up on a dairy farm and small, very, most of the crops we produced were fed back to the dairy cows. We sold some of it, but not very big farm, not very big. But eventually we got out of all of that, and he got jobs off a farm. We moved to a different farm, and then the farm became my brother's, mine, and me, and my sister's farm, where we raised sheep and rabbits and cattle. So kind of what I'm familiar with. But anyways, people need to learn how to, I mean, you could go many different ways with that. You can, teach farmers, or you can teach non-people. So you can have both ways. I'm leaving it totally up to you how you can do that, but love the idea. Okay, so on this sheet that I've provided, okay, and I'll share some examples so that you're understanding what you should be doing. Okay, you need goals. Every business farm should have a goal on what you want to achieve in that business. So goals are very important to establish right away so that you know what you will be doing down the road. Okay, we should all have goals. Even I, at my age, still have goals for teaching. You know, what do I want done in this career still, or achieve still? So you set those goals and you go with it. Okay, so if you need some help, I'm gonna go back here. Gonna go back to, for example, that's this year's. If I go to last year's, let's go to the Whispering Pine. This is the horse boarding, and let's see if they even did. Okay, so their goal is the ranch will be giving 5 lessons a day within the first year of business opening. Okay, they wanted 15% of the loan paid off by the end of 2020 of December. The ranch will be 75% operation by the end of August of 2020. So their goals were more of making sure the business is starting off correctly. I'm gonna go back to like one of my first ones. I think their goals are set a little different. So that previous one I just showed you was to get that business up and running. What is it gonna take to be them fully operational? So that's how they set their goals. Perfectly okay if that's what you want. This is the Four Amigos Donkey Farm. Their goals were simple. This is before I became kind of a stickler on goals, that they need to be more specific. Your goals have to be specific. These weren't, because it was the first time we were doing this lesson, and I have kind of modified. So they wanted to raise quality donkeys, become a well-known donkey farmer across America, purchase a house near the farm. Remember, this business has more than one owner. It has 4. You guys have 3. So at first, their property that they bought had no house on it. So they all lived on different locations. Okay? They wanted a house where it was closer to the farm. They wanted so that all of them, this one here, they all wanted to live together with their families. They wanted this ginormous mansion where they can all just live together, because they were like that type of friendship. So, okay, so if we go to the next year here, okay, so these goals got a little bit more specific. They wanted to produce high quality malting barley. Remember, they're doing a distillery, so you want malting barley and corn. Develop a liquid that is well known nationally. Develop a business where employees are treated well enough that they feel like family. Okay. Sell 79,500 bottles of corn whiskey. Sell 23,600 bottles of barley. So now they got a little bit more specific the following year. Okay. And each year. So numbers are important. For example, if you have a goal that when the farm is fully operational, we have like 2,000 acres of farmable land. You know, maybe that's one of your goals. Another goal could be teach, 5 people a month how to farm. And of course, I don't know how your farming operations how your grain farm school is going to operate. Maybe you take people, it's a year class. You start in January, where you're starting to maintenance equipment. January, February, March. Then they're gonna go into cultivating and seeding of the crop and getting the ground ready. Going into once that's done, going into spraying. Some people cultivate their corn. Once it starts to pop up, they'll take a row cultivator down and cultivate it, spraying again. Maybe, if you have some alfalfa land that you're selling the hay off, you got to learn to cut the hay, going into the harvest season, then going back into November, December, where, okay, we're back to cleaning up, putting the equipment away, getting it ready for when we have to go back in January and start maintenance again. So somehow, maybe you're going to take 10 people a year go through this course. Or, maybe your goal is to make, have, 25% increase in profits starting year 3, 4, and 5. So year 3, you have a 25% increase. Year 4, you have another 25%. So maybe that is your goal. So each of you, I have one here. Each of you need to come up, since there's 3 of you, each of you come up with a goal for your farm/business. Okay? Come up with that. You can help each other. So don't think that, if Marty has his done, Marty can definitely help the other 2, or Clay can help, or Evan can help. So make sure you're helping. Do I need to know which one did which? No. I'm going to just trust that you each did one. Okay? That's what I'm thinking here. Okay? Come up with possible names for your farm or business. Okay? I'm letting you come up with your own. As you can see, we had the first year I did this, we had the Four Amigos Donkey Farm. We had the White Bison Farm and Distillery. The one that I can't find the PowerPoint on, hers was Blue Mountain Herbals. Something along that way. Or Blue Mountain Herbalist, because she dealt with herbs. And then, of course, last year I had 2, because I did it in 2 classes. I had Pearl Valley Ranch, not original because that already exists. And then we had Whispering Pines Horse Farm. So come up with a name. Be creative. It just kind of maybe depends on where you put your farm and your school. Keep that in mind. The name could relate to where you put your farm. All right. And so finally, the third thing is you're going to go out and start looking for farms for sale. Okay. So I'll show you how to look. So what you're going to do is just once you find if you find one that's good and you think, okay, this is a contender, put it in there, but visit with each other to think about, is this good enough? So keep things in mind when you are looking for farms for sale. Okay, first of all, you got to know how many acres you're looking at. Got to look for that. Second thing is, like I tell kids, look for farms that have buildings on it already, so that you don't have to, when it comes to determining all of our inventory, is like, oh my goodness, we have bare land. All we bought is bare land for like $2 million. Now we need an equipment shed. Do we have a building for schooling? Do we need to have, grain storage? Of course, you could probably have one building for equipment if you make one of those giant sheds. So, if you find something that already has some buildings on it, or something that you can convert, go ahead and look that up. So what you're going to do is go up into the address bar, copy it, and just paste it in here. I don't care how many you find. If you find 25 farms, and then I will go through and kind of help narrow it down, thinking, okay, this is what I want, because I'm going to be looking at your goals. Be looking at, when I look at the farm, we should start thinking about how big this farm is. Acres are important. So keep that in mind. Maybe one of your goals should be, and maybe I should put a 4th goal up there. That goal is, what is the size of your farm? Is it a 10,000 acre farm? Is it a 2,000 acre farm? You guys need to determine that. All right. So when you go and look for a farm, okay, so I just went to Google and I typed farms for sale, and then I don't like these. You can use these. I just always skip, because this is more of an ad, but don't be afraid to look for it. Don't be afraid. So if I click on one, I really don't see what it takes you. Sometimes they're just ads and they're not really what you want. Okay. Well, I guess this one's giving some. So this is more around our area, my area here. So if you think about it, you know, here's 320 acres in Logan County, which is Napoleon area, apparently. I'm not very good with my North Dakota counties. Okay, here's 320 acres for $640,000. I mean, that's just land, I believe. Yeah, that is just farmland. So there's no buildings on there. So keep that in mind. If I go back here, this looks like it has a farm. Maybe not. Of course, this is in Hecla, South Dakota. So that's just kind of south of us in the South Dakota area. I don't know if there's any. Let me read here. I believe it is just land again. Let me see once. Here, I'm going to click on. Yeah, another one. It's just farmland. So, find something. Remember, you don't have to stick to North Dakota. You can be anywhere in the United States. I would prefer that you kept it in the United States. So I'm trying to find one if there's any homes on it. Well, here's one in Mahnomen County, but that's $1.3 million. It's 511 acres. I have a feeling it's wooded because there's a lot of deer. Oh, no, there's a farmland on there. Look at that. See? Well, I'm going to scroll here. Apparently, are they selling their deer heads too? So there's farmland. So let's just go through this. I don't know if they're selling their deer heads as they're doing this or what, but so here's definitely farmland. Remember, you don't have to, you could keep it simple and go smaller. So there's definitely farmland there, and it looks like there's a shed. I'm just trying to think if there's any other buildings. There's definitely, I don't know if those are lakes, ponds, or they kind of look like sloughs. But it is in Minnesota. They have the 10,000 lakes, I guess. Literally the only thing it probably is that shed. Looks like there's a creek. There's a creek through it. See? There's a creek running through it. I don't know. It's not that bad. It's not that bad. The shed looks good. I mean, it looks like the shed. Oh, look at the inside of the shed here. I mean, it's a nice shed. Looks like it fits. It's got it can fits a combine. It fits 2 tractors. There's a sprayer back there. This is a small cultivator. Looks like that's a row cultivator right there. What else does it have here? It's pretty. That's about all the door. It's got a good sized door right there. So, you know, look for stuff like that. Okay, that shed might work for, depending on how big, how much equipment you need. I mean, it still has got more space up here. Could I think it fit 2 combines? I think that shed would fit 2 combines. But at the same time, I don't know what size combines you guys want. Sometimes kids, and that's $1.3 million. So, that's also in Minnesota. If you don't want to live in Minnesota, this is probably not one. So, go out and look for some, so if I go back here. So this video will take care of tomorrow also, so you won't see me tomorrow. So, fill this in. So by tomorrow, will I check it tomorrow? It depends on how busy I get. I might want to check it out because I like this project a lot. So, I might want to see, I'm probably going to look to see what kind of farms you guys find. Remember, don't worry so much about price. Okay? Remember, this is fictitious. We're going to, yes, we need to think realistically at the same time, but your idea is, because you're going to find grants and free money out there that's going to help bring the price of stuff down. So don't worry so much. You know, if you find a farm that's worth, you know, it's a $2 million farm, don't stress about it. Especially if it has everything on there that you already need, like sheds and buildings, that's saving you a lot of costs down the road when we have to start doing our inventory. So don't worry. Don't worry about price, possible names, and if you each can come up with a goal and maybe put a fourth goal in there as how big you want your farm to be. Other than that, I hope you have a great Thursday. I hope you have a fantastic Friday because it's going to be gorgeous outside. And if you have a football game, good luck. I should try to get to one of your football games if I'm allowed. I think Valley City is starting to allow people back at theirs. I don't know. Not sure. But be glad to go to a non-Valley City football game. I'm going to be honest. Class AA football is really boring. Really boring. So, but don't tell Valley City kids that. All right. Other than that, we'll see ya.